Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. My friend, Scott Lubbock, is a poet. I normally hate poetry. And I don't know if I like his stuff because he's my friend. I don't think so. I think I really like it because it's understandable. Anyway, he had written a poem 20 years ago about how he kind of fell in love with this imaginary bear. And then 20 years later, he rewrote it with a more balancing of the fantasy, the fantastical, with the realities of life. And while it is literally about bears, obviously it has implications for love between humans. Anyway, here's the first one, written 20 years ago, The Man Who Fell in Love with a Bear. In a quiet sort of way, I have fallen wildly in love with a bear. Of course I know she's not real, I tell my friends. It is better to be thought imaginative than crazy. But still, love has taught me how to find my way through thick brush and over rough ground. I can peel off my shirt and get down on all fours, sniff the earth, and identify the tracks of my bear lover. I can follow the scent even in darkness to our cave, my nose happily conveying directions to my hands and feet, not distracted by other inviting scents, not even fall blackberries, mushrooms pushing up through the soft duff, the smell of fresh river water rushing and salmon, wild herbs or clover honey, which my bear has taught me to recognize. And in the warm black of our cave, where I can hear, like earth drums, the great heart of my bear beating, like the music of wind in reeds and branches, the breath of my bear takes my hands in large, gentle paws, guides my fingers, each to touch a separate magical place. And I, rocking gently, growling softly, raise each finger to my nose, bring it to my tongue, and name exactly where it is touched. And the cave echoes with the contented, snorting laughter of bears falling into each other's arms. It is just like that, when a man falls in love with a bear, by Scott Lubbock. Okay, that was written 20 years ago, and now let me try to get the version he rewrote, modern version, in light of 20 more years of living on this earth. I'll just read it without any more comment. I've already probably commented too much. He's calling this one 20 Years After the Fall. To be honest, it did not happen as quietly as reported. Imagination and insanity are separated by less than a thin slice of bologna, which is close to a confession that I may have indeed been crazy. The bear was real, still is. No one lives for 20 years without a bear without scratches and bites. Don't believe anyone claiming love is different. No escaping the daily demands of the world, however much in love you are. The bills must be paid, the larder filled, the floors swept and linens washed when you return to the cave at night. There's less mystery. You learn to see in the dark things you once felt for, listened for, sniffed for. Even having promised your heart to a bear, everything is seasonal. Of course, there are still wild herbs, berries, and salmon. Mushrooms and honey are still part of your diet. But magic and metaphor eventually admit to clipping coupons, reading the ads, and walking to Safeway. There is still growling, laughing, snorting, and pawing, a desire for touch and taste and the aromas of love in warm shadows of the cave. But let's not pretend there is no snoring or farting, no grumbling or hurt feelings, no light cast on disappointments that filter in from moonlight we might have ignored before. And discovering that one might say more often than the other things, like, I'm too tired, not tonight. Your breath stinks. Cut your fingernails. I'm not sure I've forgiven you yet. That's just how it is when a man falls in love with a bear. Putting on fat for winter, determined to survive even another ice age, if another ice age covers the reckless earth. Scott Lubbock, 10-10-24. So those are the 20 years apart poems, stories about a man loving a bear. In any event, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. Certainly would welcome your checking out any of Scott Lubbock's work. If you Google him, Scott Lubbock, Lubbock, you'll probably find him. He's in Eugene, Oregon, and he's also, he's a kind of a, I don't know, a professional good friend. I think he calls it all ears, the listening place. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko.